Okay. Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys can hear me. Once again, my name is Gumede Sphesihle. I will be tutoring you this semester. I will. Can you please guys mute your mic? Yeah. I will be tutoring you this semester. I hope you guys are gonna have a wonderful session. Even I can see that the attendance is very low, but there's no problem. So guys, what's going to happen? The session of the day is based on theory. I don't think it's more challenging. So I'll be giving you a summary. Then if you feel like you don't understand something, feel free to stop me along the way and ask. Don't be scared, guys. Don't be scared. So we are doing chapter 5, of which is the business cycle. So guys, business cycle, those who did economics in high school, I think they are familiar with what the business cycle and how the business cycle is operating, and they're also familiar with the terms or the phases that are there in the business cycle. So anyone who wants to volunteer and tell us what is the business cycle, you can unmute your mic and speak.
I'm gonna say good morning, guys.
Morning.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm gonna give it a try. I would say the cycle of money and economy.
Of which you are quite correct. So okay, thank you. Guys, it's something like that. Business cycle. So basically here you are concerned about the fluctuation of economic activity over a long period of time, of which is the same as my sister says. So guys, then but if you want it in details, you can say it's a graphical representation which shows changes in economic activity over time. So in other words, it tells us where the economy has been and where it's actually going. So oh guys, can you please mute yourself? Okay, perfect. Then question number 2, what is the nature and the consequences of the business cycle? What is the nature and the consequences of business cycle? Guys, anyone who wants to take this? Or no? Okay.
I mean, I don't understand the question.
Okay.
What is the nature? Can you break it down?
Okay. So what is the nature and the consequences of each stage in the business cycle? So here, guys, you have to understand that how many stages are there in the business cycle, of which the business cycle has 4 stages. 1 is recovery, number 2 is boom, number 3 is slump, number 4 it's recession. So what exactly is required here? You have to tell us what happened when the economy is on recovery phase, what happened when the economy is on boom phase, what happened when the economy is on the slump, what happened in the economy is on recession. So these are the consequences of each stage in the business cycle. So
Boom is where they make the most money. Depression, recovery is from the depression stage. So it's depression where they are retrenching people, they're closing out shops, and then they're recovering. Yeah, I think I can explain those three.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Anyone? Okay, no, it's fine. Let me add, né? Okay. So, okay, thank you. Let me add from what you just said. So, guys, as I've said, we have recovered boom, slump, and recession. So, what exactly is required here? We have to tell us that when the economy is on the recovery phase, we have to include things like financial markets shows gain, business confidence grow, because the economy is now recovering. As consumers, you are usually increasing the spending. Even the firms, they are stop cutting the jobs, of which the employment stabilizes. Then when the economy reach the boom, of which our our spending as consumers will continue to rise, of which here the inflation also takes place. Then a firm, they also expand their production, of which the employment will also increase. Then what will happen to the imports? Imports will rise to meet the consumer demand. Remember, consumer spending now is increasing. So people have money, so they like to import from other countries. That's why imports will rise to meet the demand. Financial market start to stagnate. Then when the economy reach the slump, so the slump, what's going on the slump is where there is the sign that shows that the economy is about to decline. So what will happen to the firm cost will rise and the profit will decline. Sorry guys, I need to attend something. Come in. Okay, so guys, I'm back. I was coming a visit. So yeah, then on the slum, so there will be a decline in employment and income, and spending will stabilizes. Then they'll have a negative expectation into the financial market loss. So yeah, then the last one, guys, it's a recession. So what you have to understand here, a recession, guys, have two quarters of a negative economic growth. So if it happened that the recession become longer, that is why we call it a depression, which means in the economy is very, very bad. So what has happened in the recession? There's a negative economic growth and lower inflation. Even the deflation is introduced. So then there will be a firm would cut their job as consumer spending would fail. Then imports and debt level fall. So yeah, guys, this is where we can explain the consequences of each stage in the business cycle. Basically, we are telling us what is happening when the economy is here and here and here. Before I move to question 3, any questions? Going once, going twice. Okay. My sister, it seems like you are cutting. Can you please repeat? Hello. As I can't hear you properly.
Good morning.
Yes, morning. How are you?
I'm good in yourself.
I'm also good.
My question is actually based on the changes of the names of the stages. We are used to expansion, peak, contraction, and trough. So my question is, how do you replace them? Which one is which?
Okay. Okay. So here, guys, the stages in the business cycle, we have 4 stages. Ne? Then we have how many? We have 2 turning point, and we have two swings phases. So let me start here. The stages, we have recovery, boom, slump, and recession. Then turning point, we have a peak point and trough point. Then we have what? We have the phases, like not the we have the phases, not the stages now. Phases, we have a upswing phase and a dancing phase. So a dancing phase, when the economy move from peak to trough, of which are the stage, of which are the turning point. When the economy move from peak to trough, it's a downswing phase. And when the economy move from trough to peak, it's an upswing phase.
No, I'm answered.
Okay, thank you. Any question? Okay, it's fine. What are the economic policy response to the business cycle? Anyone who wants to give us an idea before I add something? Anyone? Okay. Okay, guys. So here they want economic policy respond to the business cycle. So, guys, here there's what we are concerned about the interventions that are aimed at stabilizing the business cycle. So when we are talking about those policies, or I mean those interventions that are aimed at stabilizing the business cycle, we call them counter-cyclical policies. So when someone asks you what are counter-cyclical policies, are those interventions that are aimed at stabilizing the business cycle. So there are some reasons of these interventions. Since they work against the cycle, there are 3 reasons that you have to know. The reason for this intervention, guys, 1 is to avoid the large swings of the business cycle of the economy. Number 2 is to stimulate the economy in recession, to avoid what? The negative economic growth and rising unemployment. The last one is to cool down the economy during boom, where the economy is overheating, rising inflation. So what's going on here, guys? Remember, so we have what? We have monetary policy So now let us assume that the economy is in recession, of which the economy, we have a negative economic growth. So let us try to intervene with the monetary policy. So what SARP or what SARP would do, they will decrease the interest rate. Remember, we are on the recession, of which is bad. They will decrease in interest rate to encourage people to borrow more money so that they will increase spending. So they will also increase what we call a money supply in the economy. So by doing so, what the South African Reserve Bank is trying to do is trying to stimulate the economy in the recession to avoid the negative economic growth. Then now let's say you are trying to stimulate the economy in the recession using what we call a fiscal policy. A fiscal policy have their own instrument, of which we have taxation and also government spending. So to stimulate the economy, we have to decrease the taxation and increase the government spending in the economy. So by increasing the government spending, now we are trying to stimulate the economy, because let me say a government is spending by make use of tenders, of which more people will be employed. So even if we are cooling down the economy, we are also using the same approach vice versa. Any question, guys? Okay. If there's no question, it's fine. But if you feel like you left somewhere, don't be afraid to ask, guys. I'm here for you. Then number 4, even this one, guys, it's very simple. You won't spend much time there. What are the important indicators? So here we have 3 indicators, of which the one is the one that tell us where are we, of which it's a consistent indicator. This one, it shows the changes in the economic activities as they occur. So in other words, they move at the same time as the economy change the direction. This one is a coincidence indicator. It tells us where are we. Number 2, it tells us where were we. It's a lagging indicator. So this one is tell us about our past. Where are we coming from? The last one, it's a leading indicator. It tells us where are we going to be. So this one is change in advance. So these are the 3 important indicators. Then the last one, your question is the leading indicator accurate. So this question, it's an open discussion question, but according to me, I can't say the leading indicator is accurate. For the reason, let me ask, did it predict the recession caused by the COVID-19? So this indicator, it was not aware. So, but you can say it's accurate, then you can bring your facts or your opinions. You can say it's not accurate, you can bring your facts and opinion. It's an open discussion question. So yeah. Any questions, guys, before we move to question 5? Okay, let me confirm, guys can still hear me.
Very loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so yeah, let's go to question 5. Question 5. As you can see, guys, this is the business cycle. Here we have economic activity. Here we have time. here you have a trend line. Yeah, then in fact, inside it's a naked business cycle. Let us see what do we have. So number one, an economic upswing. An economic upswing. Remember what I've said. The economy, when it's moving from peak to trough, it's an economic remember what I've said. When the economy experience when it's moved from peak to trough, it's experienced a downswing phase. Ne? But when it's moved from trough to peak, it's experienced an upswing phase. So now let's have a look here. When an economic upswing can be represented by the portion of the graph between E, this is E, of which it's a trough to F. So let us start here. A, E, I, it represents a trough. Then C, G, it represents a peak. So now when the economy is moving from this trough up to here, yes, we can agree that it's an economic upswing. Although it didn't reach point G, but for the fact that it's moving from trough upward, you can agree that it's an economic upswing. Of which, guys, hope you understand. So, oh, wait. Okay, so let me see. Agree. Then let's look at number 2. An economic recovery can be represented by the portion of the graph between F. Who is F here? F is here. F is here and G is here. So guys, what is an economic recovery? So economic recovery, it's where the economy, it was bad and now it's still catching up. Ne? So even here, guys, from F to G, we can agree that the economy is still recovering, although it's about to reach a stable boom phase. Ne? So here it agree. Agree because the economy is still moving to reach what? A stable boom phase. So let us look at number 3. A trough can be represented by the letter E. Yes, A, E, I, it's a trough. So we also agree on this one. Also agree on this one. Number 4, the term used to describe the distance between the trend line, which this is a trend line, and the point G. The point G, this one of it, it's a peak. Of point G is the peak. So it's the amplitude. Yes, we have a length and amplitude. So yeah, guys, this one, I don't think I need to explain it, but let me try. But guys, if the distance between the trend line and the peak, the distance between the trend line and the peak. Yeah, guys, it's represent an amplitude. Let me look another way to explain this one in another way. But so far, yeah, guys. In fact, I was trying to look another way. So an amplitude, guys, is the difference in a security price from each wave cycle through the bottom to the crest or peak. So in another way, when we are talking about the amplitude, we are concerned about the point that start from bottom to top or to the peak. So it's an amplitude. So here, still agree. Then let us look at number 5. What do we have? So number 5, an average annual growth in economic activity between 2010 and 2014, according to the diagram, was between 3 and 5%. So guys, remember last semester when we are calculating economic growth, we usually take our real GDP, then check the change in our real GDP, then divide by the current, divided by the current real GDP multiplied by 100. So when it comes to this graph, it's a naked graph. We don't even have figures. So now they are telling us that the annual economic growth increase between 2010 and 2014 according to the diagram was between 3% and 5%. I feel like we don't have enough information to prove this. So here we save a living disagree. Guys, if you have a question, don't be scared, guys. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to ask. Then number 6, at point L, real investment increase. Okay, let's have a look what point L is. As point L is here, as you can see here, the economy is going down. So you can't say while the economy is going down, everything is bad. And do you think people will keep on investing? So it can't be increasing, it will decrease. So disagree on this one. Under the reason of that the economy is going down. So you can't keep on investing while you see that the economy is declining. So number 7, at point L, inflation is decreasing. At point L here again, guys, the economy is going down, of which people have no money to spend, everything is bad. So the inflation will also tend to decrease. So here it's an agree due to the fact that the economy, we are experiencing an negative economic growth, of which people they don't have money to spend. So there's no inflation. Remember, we have inflation when the economy is on a boom phase. Let's check number 8. At point M, aggregate spending decreases. Number 8, point M. Let's have a look what point M is. Point M, this one. Point M, as you can see, the economy is about to reach the peak. So we can assume that everything is going well at point M. So what they are saying, as upon M, aggregate spending decrease. This can't be decreasing because here we have money, we are spending. So it has to increase because the economy is doing very well. Hopefully, guys, you understand how to attack this kind of question. As upon M again, where the economy is going very well, employment is slowing down. This is number 9. And no, employment can't be slowing down. They have to employ more people. Remember, guys, when the economy is doing very well, of which everything is fine, of which the employment is have to increase again. So we still disagree. We were gonna agree if they said employment is increasing, because here you are experiencing a positive economic growth. At upon M again and G, let's check quite upon G. It's at upon M and G, this portion, let us check what they are saying. At point M and G, real M1 money supply increasing. Let me remind you what is M1. What M1 is. Page 19, page 18, page 19. Because I want to ensure that you are talking about something that you all understand. Okay, guys, we have 5 types of money. We have MO, of which are the notes and coins. And we have M1A, of which is the combination of notes and coins and check account deposit. Then when we are talking about M1, we are talking about M1A and all other demand deposit of the country. So at point M and G, when the economy is doing very well, it is clear that demand supply will also increase. So here we agree. We agree. Then between M and G, where the economy is doing very well, this is number 11. Prices of shares traded on the Johannesburg Security Exchange securities decreases. It can't be. It can't be, because here, guys, the economy is doing very well. Even the firms or businesses are doing very well, of which their profit margin is increasing. When the profit margin is increasing, as people will like to invest more on those shares. Remember, as consumers, we also have more money. So here it can't be decreasing, it's increasing. So disagree. Disagree. Between M and G, a growth in job advertisement. There's a growth in job advertisement. So this one, it's an agree. This is an agree because the economy is doing very well. So they have to hire more people. Any questions, guys? Any clarity from this agree or disagree where you didn't understand what I was explaining? We are free to ask. This is the variety of question. Any question?
No question.
Okay, thank you. Guys, this thing, it would shut down in 3 minutes. Then I will send the new link via WhatsApp group to return to finish this session. But for now, let us continue. Let us continue. Yeah, this one. Assume that the short term yield are higher than the long-term yield. Okay, I feel like I need to explain this one. So guys, in the yield, we have the yield and the maturity. So our formula to calculate the yield, we say long-term rate minus short-term rate. So what's going on exactly? When we are investing, when let's say okay, let's say maybe I'm buying the financial instruments such as bond, where the maturity, our maturity, where the maturity, let's say, okay, let me check the example from the textbook. Yeah, on page 186, you can see that if the maturity if our maturity is smaller, let's say here they use 91 days, we usually have the yield of that is smaller, maybe 5%. But when our maturity is keep on increasing, from even here we have 10 years and our maturity is 9%. So remember our formula to calculate the yield. We say long-term rate of which is 9% minus a short-term rate of which is 5%. We're going to have a positive yield gap of 4%. So here, so basically this thing is tell us that in order for our yield gap to be positive, our long-term rate should be greater than our short-term rate. So here, if they are saying our short-term yield is higher than our long-term yield, automatically we're gonna derive a negative yield gap. So the slope of the yield gap would be positive. This can't be because our short-term yield are higher than our long-term. So here it disagree. Then a negative slope yield curve is typical in the boom phase. Yes, guys, in the boom phase, we Okay, guys, so I was explaining that a negative sloped yield curve is typical in the boom phase. Yes, guys, it is true because during the boom phase, our short term, oh, what is this? Our short rate, okay, no. Okay, guys, our short-term rate, yeah, I was looking for that rate. Our short-term rate during the boom phase is higher than our long-term rate, of which it yields the negative slope. Then here you can agree. Which, okay, yeah. Any question, guys? Any question?
So can you please explain that in a deeper context? Like, what do you mean our short-term rates yield? What did you say?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, guys, what is happening here? Ne? This is the yield curve together with the business cycle. Ne? So, on page 186, ne, we have the example of the yield curve. So, what is happening on the yield curve? So here, guys, we assume that we are investing. So here they used the financial instrument of which are the government bond. And we have three varieties of maturity. Firstly, it's 91 days where you invested for 91 days, you're gonna yield a return of 5%. Then another return is 5 years, of which they have no percentage here. Then we have the maturity of 10 years. So where you invest, maybe where you invest or you leave your investment till 10 years, your rate of return will be 9% in overall. So what is happening here? The formula, when we are calculating the slope or the yield gap, the difference. So you take your long-term rate minus your short-term rate to check if your investment yield a positive gap or a negative gap. So what I was saying from, especially for number one, I was saying you have to bear in mind that in order for your slope of the yield curve to be positive, which means our long-term rate must be greater than our short-term rate so that your slope will be positive. Then will be negative if our short-term rate is greater than our long-term rate, because will be, in this case, mathematical, we'll be subtracting where's my calculator? Because in this case, we'll be subtracting a higher number from the smaller number, of which our yield will be negative. So yeah, number one, the slope of the yield curve would be positive if we assume that it's short term. If we assume that it's short term, this statement, if we assume that the short term yield curve are higher than long run yields. So this one, it disagree. It can't be positive. It would be negative because we'd be subtracting a bigger number from the smaller number. Remember the formula, we are starting with a long-term return minus a short-term return. Then we are done. So let us introduce now a business cycle. Here in the business cycle, we agree that when the economy is on the recession, which means now the economy is tend to be bad, né? Of which here we're gonna experience our positive yield curve because our short-term return will be smaller than our long-term return. But when we are on the boom, we experience a negative yield gap because our short-term return are now higher than our long-term return, of which during the boom phase or when the economy is doing very well, people they like to invest a short period of time. But when the economy maybe is starting to do bad, they like to hold their investment until the economy is doing very well, until they get their return. Did you answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
The last one. Oh, this one, guys. This one is on your textbook, but we do it just in case if someone have a question. So when here, guys, so this one is take us to the stylist fact, fact. So in fact, they are telling us what's going on when the economy is on the slump, recession, recovery, or boom phase. So it takes us on the consequences of business cycle again. So when are we re-evaluating the new capital expenditure? All these things, guys, you'll find it on your textbook, ne? Yeah. So during the boom phase, so here, let me use letters because I feel like they are saving time. Yeah, so during the boom phase, we re-evaluate a new capital expenditure, of which it's our D. Then when are we reducing the input purchases during the slump? During the slump, number 3, short-term interest rates are higher than long-term interest rate. That's what we're doing right now. Short-term interest rates are higher than long-term interest rates. So this one, it's a boom of which they use a short-term debt. Where they are using short-term debt, they are using a short-term debt during this is number 4, ne? They are using a short-term debt using during recession or recover. So here you can say B or C. Then where are we going to maintain prices increase in line with inflation? Okay, my sister, can you please provide me with answers because I can see that you are active. Yeah, number 5.
It's A.
It's A. It's A. Number 6, we re-evaluate new hiring. Which letter?
C. Evaluate new hiring.
Where
Is
you
it C? Recovery.
where you re-evaluate new hiring. Number 6. No. Come again.
It's D. It's B.
It's D. It's D.
It's D, guys. It's D. Explore the potential
Oh.
acquisition opportunities.
It's A.
It's A. Firm should sell unnecessary business unit.
D. Firms should sell unnecessary.
Yeah. Then so guys, what is the lesson from the chart? So this one is a self-study. Yeah, you can tell us that from this chapter I've learned 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be your lesson for this chapter. Yeah, so Any questions, guys? Or another thing, don't worry about the memorandum. I'll send the memo via WhatsApp group immediately after the class so that you can go through the memo for further explanations. But so far, any questions?
Sir.
Sure.
So I wanted to, it says here, when I entered, it said the session is being recorded. So are we going to be able to get the recording?
Yeah. I will upload the recordings. Yeah, just give me a day because I need to convert it first. That one.
Okay, no problem, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sure. So guys, if there's no other question, it's fine. You may leave the session. I will see you next week on Tuesday. Thank you. Thank you for attending. Oh, let me stop recording.